Hello, and welcome to the first episode of The Joy of Fanfiction. I am your host, Lana Redlich, and today we will explore the thrilling and gripping adventure from the Haikyuu fandom known as the Wikasa Chronicles by A Like and Abel. This story features everybody's favorite volleyball homos, Kageyama and Hinata, and their adventures in raising a child. Seeing this is my first time reading it through, my main goal will be to read this with a straight face. Now, without further ado, let's get to Chapter 1. Chapter 1. All that glitters is gold, aka in which Kageyama and Hinata decide to try for a child. Oh, how sweet. Kageyama Tobio was in labor, and not in any normal labor. Kageyama, king of the upper court, Tobio, was going to birth a beautiful baby volleyball. It started 2 weeks ago when he and his sexy BF Hinata were getting frisky on the court. I think we should have a baby, Hinata said. What the fuck? Kageyama convinced him it was a good idea, and then began the long, tiresome volleyball mating process. Kageyama shoved his thing in. Hinata shoved his thing in Kageyama's. You know what? We did it for the first time. The thing was a volleyball. Oh, this gets better. Tanaka stood from the door to the court and he couldn't believe what he was really seeing. He kind of forgot it was Kageyama and Hinata doing it, but he thought it was beautiful. What a beautiful mating ritual. He kind of wanted to try with Kyoko, but he wasn't sure she would appreciate having the whole volleyball shoved inside of her. Oh dear Jesus. Then 2 weeks later, Kageyama's water broke, but no one was sure how it worked because Kageyama didn't have a vagina, so how did they know that their child was coming? What is my life coming to? I'm reading this. Kageyama was sure that it was instinct, and Hinata stole a car to drive them to the hospital. Oh, what a sweet boyfriend. They got there, and the nurse put Kageyama in a room where he stayed in labor for like 2 minutes before he gave birth. Dear Jesus, I can hear all the pregnant women just crying over this. All of Karasuno Volleyball Club was there, and every single one witnessed the birth of a beautiful baby volleyball. It was a Wikasa brand, and it was yellow and blue. What a beautiful child. Wait, isn't that the exact same volleyball you shoved in Kageyama's ass? Like literally nothing. It's different about it, Tanaka said. No one heard him because fuck you, Tanaka. It is a beautiful moment and you are ruining it. What? Excuse me. Oh, there's more. Hinata leaned down and Frenched his hot BF and pulled out a volleyball out of his pocket. He threw the volley ball at Kageyama so hard at his hand, and it tore through his hand so his hand was stuck in the volleyball. Kageyama, will you marry me? Hinata said with tears in his eyes, and Kageyama said yes. Oh dear. Chapter 2. Oikawa is really cool, Wikasa the Beautiful, in which Hinata and Kageyama's child begins dating, but they don't quite approve of the person she's courting. Nothing good can come of this, can it? Kageyama sometimes can't believe he's a dad. He looks down at his baby volleyball and he's like, holy fuck, this came out of my ass. One day, Hinata walked in. Hey, Kageyama-kun, we should let Wikasa-chan grow. She's all grown up now. Tobio threw the volleyball out the window and said, "Bye, bitch." Wikasa rolled along the sidewalk very lonely. She couldn't believe that she was kicked out of home by her horrible dad and dad. She bumped into someone and looked up, and it was a guy with handsome features and long eyelashes and hair on his head, of course. She bet he had a massive dong. "Hi, I'm Oikawa," he said. Wikasa fell in love right that instant. And now there's an Oikawa point of view. "Wow, I couldn't believe that such a beautiful girl was standing in front of me. It was love at first sight." "You're Biotoifu," I told her gloriously. She smiled and blushed at me. Back to the Wikasa point of view. "We were dating in like 2 days. We were so in love, I just had to tell Dad and Dad." "Hey, Dad," I said on the phone. "Hey, aren't you that volleyball that got shoved in his ass?" Tanaka said on the other end. "Fuck," Wikasa said and hung up. She couldn't believe this. She went to her old house and went inside. How is any of this happening? She found her dad's on the couch, Frenching. "Ew, Dads, that's gross," she said. They looked up. "Wikasa, I can't believe you're back." "I know, right?" She said. "Okay, wait. Before I forgot, I'm dating someone now." Hinata gasped. "Oh my god. Who is it?" "His name is..." Suddenly, someone came in the door. "It's me, Oyakwa's Ed." "What the fuck, you shriveled bagpipe?" Kageyama said in anger. "I'm on love with your daughter," Oikawa said dangerously. Well, that's a new one. Hinata kicked Oikawa in the nuts. "No," he said loud. Suddenly, Oikawa was gone. Just boom, gone. Wikasa cried a lot. "Dad and Dad, I hate you both. You're horrible." She rolled away fast. She rolled to Oikawa. "I'm sorry Dads didn't give you their blessing," she said, all happy to be with him again. But she looked more close and saw Oikawa was with a boy. Oh, what a surprise. Really? "Who that?" Wikasa says. "That Iwak-han," Oikawa said. "We're happy like this." Wikasa ran away crying. Of course. "Fuck you, Oikawa desu," Wikasa says, and ran away really fast. She plotted revenge as she saw her dad walking across the street. "Oikawa broke my herd," she said. Kageyams look down at her and say, "Well, get him back, don't worry." I pressed the button and all of a sudden Oikawa blew up. "Swev, bitch," he said. "The Ned, or is it?" What the heck? Okay. Chapter 3. Okay, I don't even know how to pronounce this. It's just some random Chinese, Japanese thing. I don't read Japanese. I don't. Summary. Wikasa begins courting a wonderful person, but with their relationship comes complications that no one expected. Will she be able to handle the pressure? "Why did this happen?" Wikasa said, agonizing, painful. Kageyama, look at her. "Because I said so." Wikasa looked out the window. She's still sad because her boyfriend got blown up by her dad. But then she remembered that he had someone else to love more than her. He wasn't worth it. Damn you. Oyakwa Toiru. It started raining, and Wikasa go outside. She rolled along very fast, like the speed of Sonic, and she stopped when she saw a person standing there. He looked very tall. "SWERV," she said with much sass. The person turned around and looked down at her. "Wow, you are short," he said, and Wikasa made a huff. But it was hard because she didn't have lungs because she's a volleyball. Oh no. Wikasa remembered all of a sudden that she was a volleyball, so she was close to the ground, and the person she was next to wasn't that tall either. Wait a sec, you're even shorter, you fucking rotten banana peel, because that's what his hair looked like. Fuck you, right? The guy said. He crouched down and says, wow, you are really pretty. Wikasa made a face. I just broke up with my BF. Fuck the guy, said and walked away. Wikasa was all like, whatever, because she knew she was super hot and had fans everywhere, but she didn't think that anyone would approach her like that. But she ignored it and walked away because she's boss as hell and doesn't care about any boys, even if she was still really sad about her ex-BF dying, even if he was a disgusting cheater. She went all the way to Karasuna High School to where her dads were playing volleyball and watched for a little while. Then she saw the guy from earlier. Wow, he's really goose, she thought loudly. And then wondered how good he would be in bed. Bitch, you're a fucking volleyball. She blushed real quickly hard and shook her head like in an anime. No, Desu, I can't think like that because I just got over my breakup with Oikawa Toru. She waited until practice ended and she went up to him and blushed a little bit. Oh, this is what young love, isn't it? What is your name? She asked, really shy. I'm Noya, he said. Okay, she said back and walked away, her beautiful silky hair flowing behind her. Noya blushed, although she didn't see. She was used to people blushing when she walked by. Wow, you get that reaction a lot more than I do. Wow, look at you, bitch. She went home and laid down. She looked out the window and saw it was raining. She took a nap, and when she woke up, it wasn't raining anymore. Okay, good for you. She went outside and saw Noya was standing by her door. Hi, he said shyly. Hi, Wikasa said back. You want to date me? Noya asked. Wikasa thought for a minute. Yeah, she said. Noya made a noise and leaned in and kissed her, but she was really close to the ground, so he had to bend over pretty much all the way. It was magical, and she popped her foot up like in the Princess Diaries. Suddenly they leaned away because they heard a noise in the bushes. Suddenly, someone came out. Wikasa-san! Wikasa yelled at the top of her lungs. He smiled and said, what are you doing with that guy? And Wikasa yelled, you cheated on me and then you died. I didn't really die, Oikawa told her and laughed a little bit. I don't care, she said, and ran away with Noya. He suddenly gave her a ring and said, will you marry me, Wikasa, my love? She gasped, and they got married and went away somewhere, and they decided to wanted a baby. So Wikasa took her husband and slowly pushed inside of him. Noya moaned loudly and told her to go. Her show, she did. The next day, Noya was at practice. He sighed and suddenly got really sick all of a sudden. He went and threw up in the toilet and wondered why. He realized then that Wikasa didn't pull out they had sex. So he pulled out a test. You have a test on hand, and tested himself and found out he was pregnant. So he was the only person he could rely on. Tanaka, Noya said with completely seriousness. What? He said. I'm pregnant. Hinata and Kayemiya found out and got kind of mad. Hinata was a lot hysterical. Holy shit, I'm 15 years old? I can't be a grandfather. What the hysterically. Kageyama patted him with gentleness. "It okay," he said with much soothing tones in his voice. Suddenly, Oikawa showed up. "What the fuck?" Kageyama said. "You're fucking dead." Oikawa made a noise. "Nah, bitch, I'm not," he said, and looked around for Wikasa. Noya gave him the middle finger and said, you fucking crusty bagel, stay away from my wife." Oikawa made an O with his mouth. "Oh, what the?" he said, and then Noya moaned like an orgasm. I don't think this is what's supposed to happen when you go into labor. "The baby's coming," he said, and everyone rushed to him. He suddenly gave birth, and there was Wikasa. I don't even know what's happening. He wrapped his baby in a school jacket and looked at the Wikasa volleyball with so much love. "My daughter." Kageyama looked sad. "I can't believe our daughter is gone," he moaned sadly. Hinata looked at him, pulled him away to a closet. They had some sex, and suddenly they were back to Noya without anyone noticing. Kageyama reached out. "Can I hold her?" he said sadly, and Noya nodded. Kageyams picked up Wikasa. He threw her into the air and jumped up. "Swerve, bitch," he said calmly as he swerved his daughter right into Oiwaka Tori's face. "Fuck," Oikawa say, and then he blew up. Again, boom. Wikasa bounced on the floor. Kageyama ran over to her. "Wikasa," he said sadly. "Daddy." She said back and cried a little bit. Oh, boo-hoo. She was all bruised where she had hit Oikawa's face. "It hurts, Daddy." She cried a little bit, and Kageyama held his daughter in his arms for the last time. "It's okay, baby," he said with tears rolling down his cheeks. "Bleh," Wikasa said, and then died. It was a very sad moment. I can imagine indeed. Kageyama was in the hospital again because he and his Nata didn't have safe sex. Why, you guys? Why the fuck? He held his BF's hand and gave birth again. It was a beautiful, beautiful Wikasa baby volleyball. It was white and Guerin and red. "Like Christmas," Hinata said and smiled like joy. "Let's name her Jesus," Kageyama said tearfully. "Yeah," Hinata said. The end. Okay, well, that was quite an adventure. Thank you so much for joining me in the readings of this fanfiction. And don't forget, please hit like, subscribe, add this to your favorites, do whatever. And most importantly, please leave a suggestion for a fanfiction in the comments below. Thank you so much, and this was The Joy of Fanfiction. We hope to read with you again soon. Bye!